Hello, everybody, and welcome to another amazing patch note, patch 14.6. Today, I'm going to read you these patch notes because you never learned to read. That's it. That's the entire joke. I played a lot of League of Legends today, and let me tell you, boy, I sure don't want to play more League of Legends, but maybe it's just this current patch. Maybe this next patch improves the game. Maybe I and everyone around me will now love the game. Could it be true? Could it happen? Will we now enjoy League of Legends? Find out now on patch 14.6 review. I'm amazing at this. What do we got before going into this? As always, I'm just going to read through them so you can watch along if you want. It helps, for like viewer retention. If I mention that you guys can use me as a podcast or stuff like that, because the longer you guys watch, the more viewer retention, the more views, things work out, everything's good. I always say at the end of the video, subscribe to my Patreon because it helps with things like this. I'm going to say it at the start of the video for once. Subscribe to my Patreon. It helps me make videos. I say that because, I think as a lot of people have known and noticed that YouTube ads can be shoddy, and most things I do on stream get demonetized, and sometimes my videos get demonetized, which is weird because I don't even play music on them anymore. So I'm not really sure what they even DMCA me for. At this point, they must just be like, I don't know, I'm singing Madonna or something. You know what's weird? If someone DMCA'd me and said I was singing Madonna, I would have to prove I wasn't singing Madonna. Right now, could I prove that? Could I prove I wasn't singing Madonna? Shockingly, more difficult than you might imagine. And then somebody who doesn't even own those songs could DMCA me for them. That's true. I could be singing Taylor Swift right now and nobody would know it. Am I a secret Swiftie? Anyway, I guess the point of all this is subscribe to my Patreon. It supports me. Look down in the description and do that. Thank you all. Anyway, let's move on with the patch notes here. So what do we got here today? 14.6. We got nerfs to Briar, Gragas, Karma, Senna, Smolder, and Volibear. We got some buffs to Cho'Gath, Diana, Ornn, Shen, Cyan, and Tryndamere. Adjustments coming in for Galio, Kayn, and Rek'Sai. Some bunch of system changes, big buffs to ADCs. Marksmen are complaining every season, and this season is a season. So if they complain every season, then they'll be complaining this season. Shocking, I know, but the math checks out on this one, I assure you. Important for everybody who is a Giga Boomer, which I assume is most of my audience. Most of you don't seem to, y'all are boomers. Let's be real. You know what's funny, though? So many of my audience are boomers, but they're like boomers who've only been playing this game for 6 years. How are you guys boomers if you've only been playing League of Legends for 6 years? Like, how are you remembering, like, the good old days of, like, Season 12? You know what I mean? Like, oh man, I missed season 10 back when the game was fun. And I'm sitting here like, dude, what? Anyway, if you're still using DirectX 9, League of Legends is dropping DirectX 9 support soon. Now or sometime in the next few patches. Yeah, so soon. If you still can't upgrade past DirectX, get a PC made. From after, I guess, Clinton was president. Which one? That's important. Ranked adjustments. Okay, when you demote, you go down to 50 LP instead of 75 LP. That affects you, chat, and that might affect me. I might actually demote. If we lose another 30 games in a row, we might lose Masters, and I'll be able to double check and make sure that this system actually works properly. So, updated bot UI. Sorry, AI. I mean, that's good. You like it when your bots work. Let's move on to champions. Okay, so Briar is currently struggling to find her footing in higher skill brackets of play, while also overperforming in lower skill brackets. I wonder why that is. Why would Briar be performing so well at the low skills while not performing well in the high skills? I'm wondering why that is. Here's a serious question, and this is like a legitimate question. is this not true for basically every single Riot August champion? Like, I'm not saying he designs terrible champions now. I'm not saying that now. But what I am saying is, like, is he not notorious for this sort of thing? Like, okay, let's look at champion designs. So you got Zeri. Okay, Zeri is the opposite. Completely dominant at the high ranks. Briar, definitely low ranks. Belveth, definitely low ranks. Senna just breaks the entire game. Jin, low ranks. Echo, little bit of both. I think he prefers the low ranks. Jinx, definitely the low ranks. Vi obliterates the low ranks. Gnar, a little bit of the high ranks. I think overall he's like 60 to 70% completely dominant at the low ranks. I feel like he has a definite issue as a designer, and this is coming up with these champions like Briar, where they don't have any real counterplay. And here's what I'm going to say here. Real counterplay isn't just counterplay. Real counterplay isn't, oh man, you can totally abuse that Briar goes into a frenzy, so long as, you know, she doesn't use her anti-frenzy ability, or so long as she's not dumb enough to frenzy under your turret, right? Like, but how do you counterplay Briar's frenzy when she does a double gap closer into a hard stun into Giga DPS, and then has another ability that can leave the frenzy and heal her and reduce damage, and she gets bonus movement speed and attack speed and healing and a dot, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where I'm going with this is, like, Briar doesn't have any real counterplay. A lot of these champions don't have any real counterplay. It's bad. And because of that, without the real counterplay, they tend to stat check people to death. And Giga stat checks tend to do better at the low ranks because you don't need to really know how to play the champion. People will say, oh, it took people a long time to play Briar. Not really. It took a long time for people to stop inting on Briar. Once it kind of became known how you play the champion, everyone kind of picked up on it pretty quickly. There are a lot of stragglers. Like, if I was to first time Briar, say, against first timing Garen, I'm more likely to int first timing Briar than first timing Garen. I think that's true, and I don't think anyone would possibly, let me turn my mic up a little bit. I don't think anyone would possibly, you know, disagree with that statement, right? But at the same time, you know what? I was gonna put music on in the background, but not, because if I play Riot's Lo-Fi, that has gotten DMCA'd before. I kid you not. The Riot free Lo-Fi, people can DMCA that, and it's especially bad because people will target things that are like widely used because they're free. They'll DMCA them because they know they can catch a lot of people who are using them thinking they're free. The system is bad. Anyway, so what are they doing for Briar? Her Q can now jump to wards, which is interesting because they were removing that from a lot of different champions because it's actually really bad gameplay and leads to really janky situations where champions are far more mobile than they're supposed to be, if that makes sense to you. Like, Lee Sin was supposed to be mobile. He wasn't supposed to be like this mobile. Jax was supposed to be like jump on champions a lot. He wasn't supposed to be able to like clear walls all the time, right? So it's interesting that now we're going back and we're putting ward jumping onto champions after spending, you know, a decade either removing them or not adding more of it. Okay. Her W attack speed is going slightly down, like very, very, very slightly down. So slightly down, I'm wondering if there's even a point to putting this in a patch note. Instead of 55 to 115, it's 55 to 110. That's 1% less attack speed at rank 1 and 5% less attack speed at rank 5. So, okay. Now, her snack attack is actually getting the nerf. Instead of 25 to 45% healing, it's 24 to 40% healing. So 5% less healing. That's not double the less healing. I don't know why my catchphrase became double the, but at this point, I just have to keep saying it every time something's almost double or is double, because you know what? That's double the healing, but it's not actually. Certain Death is having its damage nerfed. This one's a big nerf from 150 to 450 to 150 to 350. That's 100 less healing or damage. That's 100 less damage. I don't know why I'm saying healing now. I'm just doing a bit, okay? Don't ask. Look, sometimes I try to be funny, and it always works every single time and has literally never failed. Let's move on. So Briar, I'm gonna be honest, she can ward hop. Cool, interesting. All these changes. This looks like a lot of changes. I assure you, it's not really that many changes. She's weaker. Is the effect here? She's weaker. Cho'Gath is getting buffed, but not really. I mean, he's kind of getting buffed a little bit, but let's talk about Cho'Gath here for a second, okay? The W cooldown's going from 13 to 9 to 11 to 9, which is good. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of a problem that a lot of people don't seem to be talking about that much, and I wish more people would talk about with Cho'Gath, and that is the cast time on his W is kind of absurd for modern League of Legends. I think the cast time on his W was made more for like ancient League of Legends, and I think it's made to give him some counterplay and stuff like that. Cho'Gath's Feral Scream cast time is the same cast time as Mordekaiser's Q. The problem with this, obviously, is when people look at an ability like Mordekaiser's Q, they say, that ability is dodgeable, right? But when people look at Feral Scream, how many people think Feral Scream is like a dodgeable ability? Because it actually is a thing. Frequently, champions like Yasuo, champions like Yone, champions like Riven, Fiora, etc. will be able to actually dodge Feral Scream. I kid you not, it is actually a dodgeable ability, and it does get abused on that a bit at the higher ranks. And when Cho'Gath misses Feral Scream, there's not a whole lot he can do. People just sprint up to him and stat check him. It's a bit of a problem. The second buff they're doing is Vorpal Spikes. Instead of 22 to 70 damage, will be 22 to 82 damage. That's 10 more damage at rank 5. That is definitely not even close to double the damage. At either rate, that's not a lot more damage. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. I think the biggest problem with Vorpal Spikes is that, like, if Cho'Gath is fighting a champion like Yone or Yasuo or Riven or Fiora or any of these champions, he frequently has a problem where his only real ability is Vorpal Spikes, because his Q is so dodgeable and his W is dodgeable. It means that very frequently all he can do is hit people with Vorpal Spikes and try to walk away. The problem with this is you're not out trading Yone with Vorpal Spikes. Like you're not hitting these Vorpal Spikes on Yone and he's like, it hurts. Oh no, I shouldn't all in you. Anytime a champion like that can all in Cho'Gath, they're sprinting into Cho'Gath to get the all in, right? And the problem here is that he can't keep people from running him the hell down, and this isn't, neither of these are really going to change it. And in my opinion, that means that fundamentally, like, until he can get to the point where he can try to discourage people from eating every Vorpal Spike. But the problem is, like, Vorpal Spike can do so much damage because it only hits 3 times, right? So the problem is if Vorpal Spike does too much damage, it makes, the matchups for people to try to actually trade with him, it makes those matchups worse. And if it doesn't do enough damage, it makes the matchups where people are trying to, like, all in and spam him to death, it makes those matchups better. But then, like, you don't want the bad matchups against Cho'Gath to be even worse, right? Like, you don't want people playing things like, I don't even know, Malphite, or I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who else is even bad into Cho'Gath. Who does Cho'Gath do good into other than Malphite? Seriously? Okay, I gotta look this up because I'm, like, legitimately curious at this stage. This champion is so old and forgotten. Who does he even do good into anymore? I shit you not, it's just Malphite. It's basically just Malphite. It's literally just Malphite. Holy crap. I literally was thinking in my head, who does he do good into other than Malphite? It's literally just Malphite. Where was I going with this? I don't even know. I'm just so amused. God, my dreams became memes. My memes became dreams. My funny joke was actually the reality of the situation. Okay, Diana's attack speed ratio is going up. Her attack speed growth is going down. What does that mean? It means the more attack speed she builds, the more she attacks. I'm gonna be blunt. This does seem a little bit odd. She does get way good attack speed scaling on her passive, so a higher ratio. If she scales attack speed on the ratio, then that makes her passive attack speed significantly better. That's gonna be a bit odd, not gonna lie. Bonus attack speed 15 to 35 instead of 15 to 39. So she's losing 4% attack speed at level 18, which isn't really that big a deal considering the enhanced ratio. But then the bonus attack speed, instead of being tripled for 3 seconds, is now tripled for 5 seconds. That's a lot of attack speed. That's nearly double the duration. Holy crap. Okay. So Dinah gets way more attack speed. I'm going to be honest, I kind of don't like this champion in particular because I kind of don't like that she just sort of runs everyone down and there's... Well, I hate to be that guy, but, you know, she doesn't really have anything you can do about it. She's one of those champions where, like, if she can't kill you, then she probably can't kill you at all, ever. And if she can kill you, then you probably can never stay alive against her. And, yeah. Gallium. Why are we calling him Gallium? Is there a meme that I'm missing here? I don't... What the hell? Gallium. I mean, I guess it's an element, right? Gallium is an element. Hold on, I'm gonna look this up because now I'm curious. What is gallium? Gallium is a chemical element. Why are we calling him gallium? I get it, funny meme, but like, why? Literally, why? Is there a thing here? Is this a reference? Are we doing a... Let me look at what gallium is. Okay. Gallium is a chemical element. It is a symbol Ga and atomic number 31, discovered by French chemist Paul-Émile Lecoq de Bois-Barudran in 1875. Gallium is in group 13 of the periodic table and is similar to other metals of the group. Elemental gallium is relatively soft, silvery metal at a standard temperature and pressure. In its liquid state, it becomes silvery white. If enough force is applied, solid gallium may fracture conchoidally. Since its discovery in 1875, gallium has been widely used to make alloys with low melting points. It is also used in semiconductors. I don't get it. I'm trying to like figure out why this is a reference to gallium. Can anyone... Guys, write me a comment. Why gallium? What is happening here? Why is are they just saying gallium because his name is Gallio and there's an element gallium? Is that it? Is that as deep as this goes? Is there a reason? Why gallium? Does gallium, the element, have a similarity? They said silvery. I mean, he's kind of silvery, but he's more of a porcelain white than a silver. In fact, I wouldn't even call him silver at all. He's gold and porcelain. Okay, whatever, let's move on. Okay, so Gallio is getting a soft rework on this patch. What is that soft rework? Okay, so the base damage on his passive is going down. A good amount down. The base damage on his passive is going down. Okay. But now, every time you hit an enemy champion or epic monster, the cooldown on his Colossal Smash goes down by 3 seconds. So from 5 to 2, right? Okay. But is no longer affected by ability haste. Now, Colossal Smash also procs spell effects, because Aatrox's passive was changed to not proc spell effects, but Colossal Smash is being changed to proc spell effects. See, one was a passive attack modifier, and the other is a passive attack modifier. They're totally different. I'm not salty. Obviously, Aatrox shouldn't get bonus damage on his passive from Spirososian. That would make sense. This company is nonsense. Anyway, where am I going with this? Gallio now gains 40% attack speed when his passive is available. Okay, so his passive animates way quicker, and he can Q, then passive, wait 2 seconds, W passive, wait. That doesn't sound very viable. I'm going to be blunt with you. Maybe he could get 2 in a fight, but 3? I don't think he could do 3. He could passive hit, then Q. He could passive hit like Q, W, but how's he getting in range? He would have to E into range, passive hit, QW, passive hit. That would work for double passive hit, I guess. I don't know. I'm thinking it through. At either rate, the base damage is down from 15 to 200 to 15 to 115. So that's pretty big damage. AP ratio nerfed from 50% to 40% as well. So slightly less AP ratio and a chunking on its base damage. His Q cooldown's going from 12 to 8 to 12 to 7. But the AP ratio on his Q is going down slightly from 75% to 70%. Okay. Then his Shield of Durand is being changed. Let me read this again just to make sure I can double check it. Yes. Okay. So his W damage reduction is going from 25 to 45 to 20 to 40. Okay. Then the damage is going down as well from 20 to 80 damage to 20 to 60 damage. However, the AP ratio is also going down on the damage reduction, and the magic resist ratio is also going down on the damage reduction. But it's gaining a bonus health ratio. How good is that health ratio? Not nearly good enough to make up for all those nerfs. I feel like the math ain't math in here. I'm going to be blunt. A full Rod of Ages will give him 6% damage reduction when he's losing 5% by default. And that's with a full Rod of Ages. The only way I see this being a thing is if you go like double health rune Galio. You could do double health rune Galio with overgrowth with Rod of Ages. And other than that, I see this being a pretty big nerf. So I'll be blunt. I'm not really sure where they're going with this, because especially from 5% per 100 AP to 4%, that means it's 6%. Sorry, it's 600 AP. You're losing 6% damage reduction. So you're losing 5% early game. You're losing 11% late game. You would need 1,100 HP just to equalize that. Not even to beat it, just to equalize it. And then you're also getting less per magic resist as well. So what is going on here? The math ain't mathin' to me on this one. I'm gonna be blunt. His Justice Punch damage is also going down by 15, but the reduced damage to non-champions is going from 50%. So currently it does half damage to non-champions. It'll go from doing half damage to doing 80% damage to non-champions. Okay. Then Galio's passive now properly executes minions when using a support item. Cool. I'll be honest, it seems like a big nerf. I don't think the math is mathin' on this one. I don't think the math is math. The math ain't adding up to me. The only thing I can think here is that his passive getting more attack speed will potentially allow him to like hit with a Justice Punch, passive hit, instantly QW passive hit, and with them having 40% attack speed, maybe they just come out much quicker and he actually gets more burst. But I don't think this is quite hitting the mark of making him a sustained damage champion. I think he just has a burst combo that bursts, right? Like I don't think this is hitting the mark of what Riot wanted. I don't know. This ain't doing it for me. I look at all of this and it ain't doing it for me. I think at best he comes out at the same win rate, but probably lower. I'm gonna be blunt with you. I'm not feeling very inspired by this. It ain't wowing me. I'm not thinking like, oh man, am I going to play Tank Galio top now? Like, no. So, okay, whatever. Gragas is being nerfed. Why? He's very overpowered. Why? Because he's a fat bastard. That's not why he's overpowered. He's overpowered by, because Riot randomly buffed his health and armor per level, and then he started going top lane and getting so tanky that he's actually just tanking straight through his counters, and it's pretty annoying. So his base HP is going down by 30, and his Q mana cost is going from 80 to 60 to 80 flat. That's right, his Q mana cost went down per level. That's unusual. There are a few champions whose mana cost goes down per level. Off the top of my head, Udyr and Gangplank do, but it's not usual. It is abnormal. So I'm not sure why his Q mana cost went down per rank. That was a bit odd. Because definitely, it was a bit weird that Gragas had unlimited mana. In fact, he'll still probably have unlimited mana because mana items are ridiculous right now. Karma's getting nerfed because Riot suddenly came to the shocking conclusion that, hey, maybe this game should be fun to play. I know many of you are shocked. You said, what do you mean? League of Legends is fun to play? No. I assure you, League of Legends could be fun to play. We just have to kill about half the roster. The champions I play are good and should stay. The champions I don't play are bad and should be removed. Everybody got it? Okay. So Karma, her mana growth is down. That's 10 less mana per level. Then her mana regeneration growth is going up. So she'll regenerate more mana, but she will have less flat. Okay. Her passive cooldown refund is going from 5 seconds per spell hit to 4 seconds per spell hit. That will make it significantly harder to double RQ in a fight. Right now, one of the things Karma can do is, particularly with Malevolence, she can, remember, because her ultimate gets reduced by a flat amount, right? So if you get a bunch of ability haste on your ultimate, it's pretty common that she can RQ, use her other abilities, RQ, in the mid game after she gets, her items, and it becomes quite diabolical and very frustrating for many people because she RQs, which slows you, then she roots you, then she RQs you while you're rooted, and you're sitting there like, yo, wait, what just happened? Why am I dead? Her Q mana cost is going from 45 flat to 40 to 80s. That is significantly higher mana cost on her Q, particularly in top lane. I think this will kill Karma top for a bit. I don't think it's coming back at 80 mana on a spammable ability like that. I don't think Karma's going back top for a bit. I think Riot's finally removed Karma from top. Then her R cooldown is going from 40 to 31 to 40 to 34. That is a significant nerf. That is a significant nerf to her cooldown and her ultimate and her passive combined. You can RQ into root into Q, and then you can RQ the third one. But basically, it kind of kills her RQ root RQ combo, which was very frustrating and many people didn't like, which is fair. I didn't like it either. I dodged it most of the time because I'm amazing and I would never get hit by an ability. Not even Karma's RQ and its imminent domain could hit me. I'm just too Weasley. But for the people who were hit, it was very deadly. And then Karma's RE Defiance bonus shield being buffed in the early game by 25, being nerfed in the late game by 5. So Karma using her mantra shield will do a bit better. God, every time I hear the word mantra, I think of Azura's Wrath. What a fun game. Are they ever going to remake Azura's Wrath? I know. They shouldn't, but they should. But they should. Okay, on to Kayn. What's going on with our pal Kayn? Okay, Kayn. Darken Q damage is being increased. Q animation now prevents use of item actives, and Shadow Assassin R damage decreased. What does that all mean? Okay, so his Darken Q is getting more base damage. Instead of 5% health per hit flat, it's now 6% damage per hit. And Reaping Slash's animation now locks Kayn out of item actives. I'm wondering, is that only for Reaping Slash, or can he use it on... Can he still use Assassin Kayn? Can Assassin Kayn still do it, or is it only... It seems like they might be trying to stop... Wait, why is his name Forest? What is happening? Why is his name Forest? Is anyone else's name weird? Why is his name Forest? I don't get this one. Is it because he's a jungler? Patch note people, what are you doing? Why is his name Forest? I'm trying to figure out. Am I stupid? Can I not figure it out? Did everyone else figure it out? Chat, commenters, did you guys figure this out? Why is his name Forest? Is it so obvious I'm just looking past it? Is it because he just goes into the forest? Because he can walk through walls? Can he walk through walls so his name is Forest? Why? Okay, so you definitely can no longer profane Hydra during Reaping Slash. I'm wondering if that affects normal Kayn and Assassin Kayn, though. It just says Reaping Slash. It says specifically Reaping Slash's animation. we're also specifically hitting his ability to activate items during his Q, as those items are meant to have their own cast times without being hidden inside other spells. I'm just wondering, it says specifically darken damage per hit. You know, I think they're just talking about Reaping Slash in general, and then this patch note is talking about the darken one. You know what I mean? I think I'm overthinking this. I think it's obvious, and I'm the one overthinking it. So you can't use any items during any of his Qs. I don't know why I thought otherwise. I'm being too complicated. Then his R damage is being nerfed, but not the Darken R. The Darken R is exactly the same. The Shadow Assassin R is nerfed. And I guess base form Kane R is also nerfed. Okay. Ornn. Why didn't they call him Orny? What, that wouldn't be a clever name? You can't call him Orny? Okay. Ornn's cooldown on his E is going down from 16 to 12 to 14 to 12. I think a big thing here, and this is just my opinion, Ornn sucks. Ornn sucks so hard. Ornn is awful. Ornn is legitimately bottom tier, absolutely terrible. Worthless champion. That's all I have to say. He can charge more early game, which will probably let him run around, dodge abilities, you know, generally do cool stuff, right? But actually, no, everything I just said was optimistic. He's terrible. This champion is awful. I'm gonna be honest. Every time I fight Ornn these days, my thoughts aren't, oh no. My thoughts are, yay, a money bag. His only thing seems to be he can feed he can feed grass procs to his opponent, or he can feed gold to his opponents who can actually kill him. At either rate, he's terrible. So the thing is, Ornn's combo, he has to use all three abilities. Reducing the cooldown of his longest cooldown ability does let him combo more often. This does mean that, for example, Ornn's QWE combo will now be on a lower cooldown than Counter-Strike. It'll mean that it'll be a lower cooldown. I mean, it'll just be on a lower cooldown. This will buff him, and it might help him more than I'm giving credit, because Ornn being able to combo more early game is good and will definitely help him. So maybe I'm exaggerating as to how much this will do. I just look at Ornn and I'm like, dude, he's so bad. Maybe with the Sunfire buff and the Searing Charge buff, maybe the two will add up and he'll actually be relevant early game. But I'm gonna be blunt, it's not likely. Okay, so Rek'Sai. Wow, Rek'Sai's back in the patch notes. Again, in fact, here's I'm gonna like write a list here. You guys get a bingo card, okay? Get a bingo card here. Wow, Briar's in the patch note again. Free space. Briar's getting nerfs. Free space. You just free. Everyone gets it. Briar's getting nerfed. Everyone just, that's your free space, okay? Oh wow, Kane is being adjusted again. That's your second free space. They're in every patch note. Free space again. Cool. Rek'Sai is getting bug fixes though. Let's see here. This doesn't actually do anything. It's just some quality of life changes. And these are like actual quality of life changes. I don't think these affect anything. I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna skip past them. Third free space. Senna's passive is being adjusted. Guys, Senna's passive is being adjusted. Free space. Every patch, Senna's passive. Up, down, up, down. Dude, I make fun of it, but like seriously, like I would like to stop making fun of this. I feel like we need to retire Senna's passive. I think we should no longer make any changes to it ever again. It's done. The meme is over. You know, let's move on with our lives. Senna's passive no longer gets any changes. Okay, everybody. Is everybody okay with that? It's fine. Look, it's fine. We just never patch it again, okay? You just leave her as a bad bot laner. End of story. Stop. I beg you. I beg you. Stop changing this passive every patch. Before you think I'm exaggerating, how many of you guys been watching my patch videos for a while? Because I swear to God, I've been here. Deja vu. I have read this patch note before. It's lower than before, but it'll be back up again in the future. No, seriously, I'm not even doing a bit. Once again, I'm not doing a bit. Let's look through here. Let's look through Senna's patch notes, okay? Absolution. Boom, absolution, 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 absolution. 18 fucking patches for her passive. Just leave it. Anyway, Shen. Okay. So, Shen's passive, now as its cooldown, go down linearly with levels instead of at specific levels. It used to go down at 1, 6, 9, 12, 14, 16, 17, 18. So at level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it would be the same cooldown. Then at 6, it would go down. Then 7, 8, 7, 8, it would be the same. Then 9, it would go down. Then 10, 11, 12, 10, 11, it would be the same. 12 would go down, so on like that. Okay. What's the point of this? The point is that now it scales linearly, so it goes down every single level. They did a change like this for Riven recently. The thing is, Shen having a lower cooldown on his passive at level like 2, 3, 4, 5, that does impact him a good chunk. And what that does do is it does make like his level 5 much stronger. I'll be honest, your level 4, your level 5 being stronger, you do spend like a decent amount on the lane, like juking, especially like if you are like if you're a lane bully. Level 4 and 5 are kind of important for like setting the pace of the lane, so to speak. So this is definitely a good buff for Shen. And I think importantly, yeah, they're saying at level 8 to 16, it's a rather significant decrease to its cooldown. Shen sucks, all tanks suck. I sure hope they don't do any changes later in these very patch notes. I sure hope they don't do anything to randomly make tanks weaker. Surely they wouldn't, right? Surely now that they're buffing, you know, a tank and another tank and another tank, surely now that we're admitting tanks are goddamn terrible, surely we won't now go through and nerf them, right? Right? Anyway, so Sion. Okay, Sion's rank 1 Q is having its damage nerfed, but his rank 5 Q is having its damage buffed. Everybody get that? Okay. So a bit weaker early game, a bit stronger late game. Not really sure why he needed to be even weaker early game. I'm sure it made sense to someone, but I'll be honest, it sure don't make sense to me. Sure don't make sense to me. Then his soul furnace is getting adjusted. The base shield at rank 5 is going down by 40, but the health at rank 5 is going up by 4%. That's right, from 12% to 16% health. That's almost double the health. I don't know why. At this point, I'm just saying it because it's annoying, and I find it really funny to annoy you guys. That's about it. So at 4% more health, he would need, this is going to be difficult. Sion would need at least 1,000 health for this to be a buff. So if you manage to get level 9 and max your shield by 3 minutes in the game, this is a nerf. I'm sure many people will say that he has now been nerfed into the ground and is not even playable. Because, you know, if by level 3 you maxed his W, it's a nerf. Therefore, it's a big nerf. I don't even know. Nobody knows. Big ups to Sion except at level 1 for some reason where he gets nerfed. Not really sure what's going on with that one. I guess someone at Ride got hit by level 1 Baus and was like, damn it, nerf him. This is bad. I'm so angry right now. Okay, let's move on. Smolder, the most least fun dragon. You thought I was going to say the most something, but he's the most least fun dragon. Of all the dragon champions in the game, he's the worst. I'm going to rank them. Okay? Number 1, Aesol. Number 2, Shyvana. Number 3, Jarvan, because he wears dragon armor. Number 4, literally nobody. And coming in behind literally nobody is Smolder, because literally not having a dragon would be better than having Smolder. Sorry, my mouth is a little bit dry right now. Giving it the old hydration. Okay, so Riot has decided that percent health scaling true damage is bad for the game, and by that I mean it's not bad for the game. Actually, little did you know, it was good for the game and was very balanced, and we're keeping it. His execute is being nerfed. It no longer scales because execute started at 7.6% by the time he even reached 225 stacks and unlocked it. This means the base execute's being nerfed from 7.6% to 6.5%, and allied damage no longer procs the execute. Between these two factors, this does mean that Smolder will get a decent chunk of a nerf. He will get less executions, blah, blah, blah. His Achu, which is a stupidly named ability, the missile width is going down. This will make it more dodgeable. That is flap, flap, flap. Seriously, why do we name the abilities like this? I feel like the problem of naming the abilities like this, it's like a funny meme for like 5 seconds, and then you go, okay, but seriously, what are their names? And it's like, oh no, their names are really flap, flap, flap. Like, okay, cool. Yeah, I want to say that. I want to say flap, flap, flap. That sounds cool. I like this game. I like where this game is headed. Anyway, flap, flap, flap. The movement speed is going from 100% to 75%. This should make it a little bit harder for him to get away from you if you catch him out in a line. But it's still pretty easy for him to use a 75% movement speed buff to get out of range, right? Okay, overall, not really the biggest nerfs, not really. Some people are acting like this. Destroy Smolder. They're obliterating him. They're destroying him. They're making him unplayable. I'm gonna be blunt, probably not. And honestly, I feel like his win rate will just continue to. I feel like his win rate will probably be the same after these nerfs. You know, because people learn how to play him better, and they also might be nerfing some items he hypothetically uses. But overall, I would definitely say Smolder as a champion tends to be extraordinarily overpowered at the low ranks, and there's definitely a problem with his low rank presence. And at the high ranks, he's reached 80% pick ban, which is a bit of an issue. And that's not a meme, by the way, with a 59.5% ban rate and 20.7% pick rate. That puts him at a 60.2% pick ban. So 80.2% pick ban. As this patch ends, Smolder was slightly over an 80% pick ban. Yes. Yes, he was. Trinimir is getting more attack speed growth. That's it. Cool. Volibear was fun, but the jungle ruined him, as they ruined everything. So Riot needs to nerf fun because they don't like fun. Riot hates fun. They look at fun and they go, ew. Volibear jungle is currently performing too well after a recent buffs, and maybe just remove the tower break on his ult. Honestly, I really think a good way to balance Volibear, remove his ultimate breaking turrets at rank 1, so that jungle can't just use his ult as like a champion be gone by just diving everyone, because like 2 less turret shots is easily enough to dive practically any champion other than a tank from full HP and get away with it. So I really think if you want to nerf jungle Volibear, remove the turret break on his rank 1 ultimate. Rank 2 and 3 can keep it, sure. But I definitely think nerfing his movement speed is brutal, which is what they're doing, because that affects top Volibear, particularly, who needs movement speed to get into range. Okay. So they're going back to their original plan. They're originally going to make his movement speed 12 to 28%, but at the last second, they went back and gave him more, and now they're reverting that. So it was originally going to be 12 to 28. They made it 12 to 36. So 36 is becoming 28 because that's doubled. Do remember, he's now going from 64% movement speed down to 56% movement speed. So he's losing 8% movement speed at rank 5. Is it a big nerf? Is it a champion killing nerf? No. Does it definitely hurt him? Yeah, it definitely hurts him. And then the cooldown on his ultimate is going up because Riot literally will not remove the turret break. Just remove the turret break. I beg you. I beg you to just remove the turret break. I want it. You want it. We all want it. Anyone who doesn't want it, I'm going to report to the democracy officers, and they will uphold democracy. And then we will go back and we'll vote on it again, and we'll decide that we all want it removed at rank 1. Okay. Crit marksmen as a whole feel pretty sad right now. I disagree. So we'd like to power up the subclass as a whole. We're doing this through their big ticket multipliers and amping up their specific strengths as tank busters so that they strategically stand out from other marksmen who peak earlier in the game. Wow, you want them to kill tanks better? That's crazy. It's almost like tanks are terrible right now, as seen through 3 tanks getting buffed, because they're terrible right now. Boy, it sure would be weird to buff up tanks at the same patch you're kind of just stomping them in the nuts. But okay. So Infinity Edge critical strike damage is going from 40% to 50%, which is too much. And boy, oh boy, Yasuo and Yone are going to be real fun. Every crit champion is going to be fun. Tristana being able to go back to Infinity Edge is going to be real fun. I'm going to enjoy getting 3-shot by ADCs at 2 items again. That's always really good gameplay. And I really got to think that this is the way to do it in life. I really like when AD carries can rely on pure crit RNG one-shots. That's just, boy, so fun. So fun. Enjoyable experience for everyone. Navari Quickblades is getting a much better build recipe. I'm not going to go over it because there's a bunch of crap. And the attack damage is going up by 5. Again! Wow, that's crazy. Navari Quickblades, one of the better items in the game, was apparently not as broken as Kraken Slayer, which is because Kraken Slayer might actually be the single strongest item in the game right now. So they're buffing Navari Quickblades so it can be as good as Kraken Slayer, which is very weird to me, considering when I look at bot lane and I look at the pick rate and I look at, boy, who's really excelling in bot lane right now. Number 2 pick, Essence, quick. I'm thinking of the wrong item, aren't I? Or am I thinking the wrong item? Navari Quickblades. Wait, which one is Quickblades? God, they change the name of these items so many times. Quickblades. No, Quickblades is a good one. Wait, I'm not crazy. Oh my god, I thought I had to be crazy. Wait, everyone is building this item. Wait, are you shitting me? Well, not literally everyone, but certainly a lot of people. Wait, doesn't Zeri go this item? Yeah. So wait, Zeri builds it, Smolder builds it, Gangplank builds it. Basically everyone, doesn't Lucian also build it? Or no, I don't think Lucian does. No, he does. I'm not crazy. Dude, I feel like I'm being gaslit by Riot until I don't trust myself anymore. What the hell? One of the best and most purchased items in the game is getting buffed randomly. Dude, I feel like I'm being gaslit by Riot because I looked at this and I went, well, they're buffing it. Surely it's not the one I'm thinking of, is it? No, it is the one I'm thinking of. It is getting purchased all the time. What's next? Are we going to go ahead and buff Sundered Sky? Maybe Eclipse? Spirit Ocean? Although Spirit Ocean got nerfed because of Smolder. So that was amazing. Another Bruiser item nerfed because of an ADC, as is tradition. So Navari Quickblades buffed because it wasn't as broken as Kraken Slayer. Lord Dominic's Regards and Mortal Reminder are getting more armor pen. Why? Because it got nerfed, so damage wasn't so high. But now damage is fine so long as it's on the right champions, I guess. I'm going to be honest with you. I highly suspect that 35% armor pen, we're going to see a lot of people swapping into Lord Dominic's Regards Especially with Serilda's Grudge being dead, I highly suspect that Lord Dominic's Regards is going to be an option that will be explored by a lot of non-ADC champions in order to maximize their damage. Particularly if you don't want to do a full lethality build, Lord Dominic's Regards now starts looking like a tantalizing option, because Lord Dominic's Regards will give more armor pen than Cyril does. In a lot of situations. Yeah, even though Cyrilda's has 10 lethality, 15 lethality, 2 lethality items only put Cyrilda's at about 25% armor pen. So going up 10% armor pen, you only need 150 armor for Lord Dominic's to be better. So yeah, Lord Dominic's is definitely going to be an option for a lot more champions. Remember, 150 armor, that is one singular armor item gets you above 150. So this isn't like some crazy number. This is an 80 carry with Guardian Angel. You know what I mean? Okay. Jungle and supports can no longer buy Doran's items. If you have the jungle item or you have the support item, you can't buy the support item. Or so you can't buy Doran's if you have those. Okay, everybody get it? Okay. Support items are being nerfed. I'm not going to go through all the changes. Basically, support items will generate less gold because support items were generating too much gold. And they were upgrading. Well, they're reducing the amount until they upgrade. Basically, supports are going to be generating less gold because supports generate too much gold right now. And I keep making this joke, but I feel like having a winning bot lane right now loses you the game because supports are so goddamn overpowered. It is extraordinarily common that if your support doesn't roam because they want to AFK next in, to their bot laner, that you lose the game. Their support will just start roaming. Supports are so strong right now, they basically just destroy fights. So if the support starts roaming to top lane and mid lane and doing that stuff, you can end up trying to fight a 3v4 map because your team won bot lane. So now you 2-man bot lane and now you're fighting a 3v4 map. You start losing top, you start losing mid, and then the AD carry starts typing, guys, stop feeding so I can carry. And then, obviously, if the jungle and mid and top are losing, the bot laner is going to have real difficulty being able to pull off that win. And then Solstice Slay is getting nerfed. Another free space. Solstice Slay got nerfed in another patch. Free space. Okay, this is a really big change that's coming out. Basically, all components are being nerfed. The epic items, as they call it. So I'm going to list through them. I'm not going to list every single specific change. Okay. Bammy's Cinder is being nerfed. Caulfield's Warhammer is being nerfed. Fiendish Codex is being nerfed. Glacial Buckler is being nerfed. Haunting Guise is being nerfed. Hearthbound Axe, that's right, nerfed. Hextech Alternator, nerfed. Kershey's Shard, nerfed. Serrated Dirk, nerfed. Spectre's Cowl, for some goddamn reason, nerfed. Steel Sigil, buffed a little bit. It just gets a better build path. Brutalizer, nerfed. Tunnels. Do they mean tunneler? Why do they call it tunnels? I can't tell if this is a meme at this point or if they actually are just typing the wrong words. Okay, well, it's called tunneler, right? I mean, I'm not crazy, am I? Wait, am I crazy or is it called tunneler? It's called tunneler, right? It is called tunneler. Dude, I'm being gaslit by Riot. I swear to God, this company is gaslighting me. Verdant Barrier, nerfed. Wait, buffed. Wait, Verdant Barrier buffed. Well, it wouldn't be a patch without a random buff to AP and AED items, while Bruiser items sit there kind of being weird and undertuned. Systems. Void Grubs are being changed. Instead of getting a shield, they get a heal because junglers are dumb. They originally said that they were going to make Void Grubs easier to take as top laners. That turned out to be a lie. That's it. It just turned out to be a lie. They did not make Void Grubs easier at all for top laners to take, so it is still just another jungler objective, meaning junglers get to control the entire game until 20 minutes, at which point they're often the most fed champion and then control the game after that, and then they have the smite for Baron, so they continue to control the game after that. Jungle is very cool, very cool, very cool, guys. Huh? Okay. Mythic shop rotation, I don't care. Bug fixes and quality of life changes. There was one or two here that were actually kind of important. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to click. Volibear's W will no longer apply a mark and heal through Jax's Counter-Strike. So the Jax v Volibear matchup should now be once again pretty Jax-sided and very anti-Volibear, as he can dodge Volibear's W and potentially, in fact, it's not even potentially, he can just literally make Volibear unable to keep his W up ever, which is kind of really messed up when you think about it. Basically, the first Volibear W applies it, then he gets counter-striked right when it's about to come off cooldown. It times out, then he applies it, then he goes to use it, counter-striked, then he applies it, then he goes to use it, counter-striked. That's kind of wild, dude. That's kind of wild. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not sure that's... It's kind of messed up that a matchup can just stop another champion from really being able to do anything. So my ear just like itches, dude. Okay, blah, 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 blah. I think that was about it, actually. I mean, there's some small changes here, but... yeah. Let's look at the skins. Wow, skins. Wow. Untamed Crystal Kha'Zix. It's Kha'Zix. If he... I've seen this before. Isn't there a championship Kha'Zix? Am I crazy? There is a championship Kha'Zix. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, there's some differences for sure, but like, wow. I'm getting some deja vu all over again. High Noon Evelyn. It's Evelyn if she actually wore clothes. You ever buy a skin to make your character wear more clothes? Yeah. Just thigh highs. I mean, okay. High Noon Gragas. I feel like the High Noon skin line, I feel like High Noon Lucian is the single best skin in the entire game. That's my opinion. High Noon Lucian is literally the best skin in all of League of Legends. And I feel like the problem is they keep trying to like recapture that glory and they aren't even getting close. Like, this is not even close. High Noon Yone. No. There's just something off with all of these. I don't know a way to put it. The Evelyn one is the best. And I'm not just saying that because she's hot. I'm just saying it's like the best one. I mean, I'd have to see him in game. I don't know what's happening here. Peacemaker. Sephiroth. Sorry, it just came to me in a dream. Okay. And Prestige High Noon Evelyn. It's Evelyn if she actually wore pants for once. Holy shit, is that a skin idea? Evelyn, but she wears pants? Is that a skin idea? That's my skin idea. Evelyn, but she wears pants. Okay. Can we see him in game? Here's High Noon Evelyn. I'll be honest, I'm not hiding anything. It just looks this bad. Dude, I would... Okay, if there was a good skin, I would say this is a good skin, right? like I would say that, right? Like I'm not mean. It's just like, oh my God, dude, week after week after week. I'm not even being salty. I just don't think these are very good. These are kind of phoned in. They don't do it for me. There's nothing special or cool about it. Hi, Noon Gragas. What? I mean, what? It just, you took a skin line and you just put Gragas in it because Gragas hasn't had skin in a while. Quick, insert a new skin line. Like what even is this? What even is this? It's just dumb. It's stupid. Hi, Noon Rel. At least the horse Leona got like. At least horse Leona got the horse skin, I guess. You know, if you think about it, if Rel controls metal and her horse is just metal and she rides on it, do you think it's more effort for her to ride her metal horse as she magically commands it to move? Do you think that's actually more strenuous than to just move and walk around normally? Because I feel like walking around isn't really that hard. Surely it would be harder and like more like exertion to ride a metal object that you're controlling in like, right? Like, is it just me? Anyway, Skinline's boring. Hi, Noon Yone. Save us, Yone1 Kenobi. Your only hope. You failed. That looks terrible. That actually looks legitimately bad. I'm gonna zoom in because I'm not even making this up. What? Man, what? Look, I'm not even being salty. I'm not, guys, I promise you, if there was a good skin, I would say, wow, that's a good skin. If Morgana got any skin ever, I would say, wow, she's beautiful. Please be my girlfriend. But like, what even is this, man? What even is this? Literally, chat, I'm gonna zoom in here. I'm gonna what is this, man? Okay, now, like, I'm sorry, whoever modeled this, you probably didn't do your best. I was gonna say you did your best, but maybe this is all you had to work with. Maybe the art was done and you tried, but man, what? Like, this is gonna get used because it's new, and then it is being dropped, and we will literally forget that this skin is even in the game. And that's it for the patch. Wow, what a great patch. Okay, cool. So as always, Patreon. Why are we doing Patreon? Because when you subscribe to my Patreon, you support me, and you allow me to continue to make awesome, cool stuff like this. What is this? This is these videos, which you guys enjoy, or at the very least, I hope you enjoy. If you guys continue to enjoy these videos, you should subscribe to my Patreon, and it helps me a lot. So, I don't know if I even do the best sales pitch. Like, if you guys have a better sales pitch, go for it. I'm kind of buying time because I'm navigating their website right now. Okay, let's go through my Patreon fans. Okay, starting at the top, going to the bottom. Thank you, Stefan Ortman, Daniel Fiala, Deep the Heretic, T the Fish, Amzarine, Blazenrock, Christoph Marks, Guinea Shelbert, Monica, Tenchi Kanashisa, Destroy, Sebastian. There's not a T there. How many times have I said that there's no T? Sebastian, Ben, Benji, Creador, Yadgod, Ferdinandtor, Vanaku, Full-Yuki, Hansen, Hoon Arthur, Janfish, James Cook, Jordan Panning, Kalfo Zeramauer, Kian, Kijubai, Ludwig III, Manuel, Metal M. Morgan, Nathaniel Mingham, Negative KDA, OMG Clover, Oz, PB&J, Redaddy, RevGen, Scorpion, Suki02, Terra, Uvo Plaja, Vivian, WLC League of Legends, Wolfman, and Jan. Thank you guys for subscribing to my Patreon and supporting me. Thank you to my YouTube members, my Kick subscribers. Thank you anyone who likes this video, leaves a comment, does anything like that. Thank you everybody. And as always, I hope you all have a great rest of your day.